Yes, I think I'm audible, right? Hmm. So, hello guys, myself Murli here. So, in this video, we are going to discuss yes, audio and video is clear, right? So in this video, we are going to discuss what are the 3 months CUT study plan, right? Uh, that I devised for you guys. And before doing this, I would like to say that when you will come to JNU, you will not just save 10,000 each month, but you will also find a place to study in the best institution of the world or in India, and you will have UPSC preparation as well. So I would suggest you, because I have given my two attempts, right? So I would suggest you to just take the or secure the your MA position here, right? And start doing both the things, MA and as well as UPSC, because this institution will provide you a very academic liberty, right? And you will find the best place to study here, because each day you will have just 2 hour classes, and rest days you will have free time. So this is the best place and best times to study for here. And because there will be no any drop years, right? So when there will be no any drop years, you will have enough opportunities in life, right? So though I have no regret in my life, but yeah, since I have given 2 years, my precious 2 years, and it was very serious one. So but yeah, no, I'm also enjoying here, right? And I am finding a lot of time, right? Since I'm also creating videos for you, and just after next few days I will have my own uh, CUT batch, right, for you guys. So also, but when you will take the admissions here by studying let's say even 1 hour each day, and right, and when you will grab the opportunity to get into the JNU, then you will feel very immense pleasures, as there would be no any financial problem here, because room rent is just 60 rupees for 6 months. Yes, 60 rupees for 6 months. And thus, and only they charge mess fee, 3 times food, and it costs you around just 3,000, right? It is a very best food, right? And they will just charge 3,000, and you will get 3 times food. So, and it is very affordable, that you don't need to care about room rents, and you will find best place to study in library, and library is ninth floor library. Oh my god, when you will see, because since I have uploaded a lot of videos and stuffs, photos on my Instagram as well, so you can also look into that, right? And now I am started making reels, after a lot of years I was repressing that I was not creating any reels, but now little days, these days I am just relaxing myself, taking reels and making videos, right? It is very interesting, because I am not able to stop the myself, because to take out the aesthetic pictures and aesthetic videos, right? So JNU is also a place where you will find biodiversity, right? And lot of forest, greenery space, right? It's immense pleasure. There's no any heat waves, right, in the JNU, right? It is all the what I we call romantic environment, right? Because it is very green. JNU has very green space, right? My hostel Mahi Mandvi, you will find a lot of. I mean, I would say this JNU is itself located in the forest. My God, so it is not a place. It is totally forest areas, and you will also find the example how even both developments as well as education or economic growth could take place, right? This is the unit is the best epitome of this. So anyway, I am going to discuss 3 months CUT history plans that I had devised for you. That so this is my logo. You can see in Sync. So 3 months I have that from September 1st, as I will start class from September 1st, because I have 15 days right now around. So I will also ensure that other students from other colleges also participate in it, not just Ramjas, because I don't think so many people will join, because some will do this, but I would suggest that those who also plan for UPSC, right? I know that many of you will plan for UPSC. So I would say this is the best place. This is the best place to study here for 2 years or 1 years, you will not find any place in entire Delhi, right? Even in your home, because this place caters you, your academic growth, right? Your mental and emotional well-being. You will find a lot of people, hell, lot of people to talk and to share your thought, ideas, and get their ideas, right? And so even in library, you will find 24/7 study space, all books, stuffs, and all printing, everything at very minimal cost, and also no need to care about your food, lodgings, and etc. etc. So even if you wish for, you can see that I had wish for in my before 3 years back in 2023. So this is the best place to study for UPSC, as well as if you have idea of a research ecosystems, right? If you wish to make career in research, then this is also a best place. This is the and only best place, I would say, if you not plan for abroad, because this is the best place. Because I know I have been to Delhi University, right? I was graduate from Ramjas itself, so I know, because you won't find such greenery and forest and hostel accommodations in DU itself. But yeah, JNU is having very high cutoffs. It is very, it around 80 to 90% out of 300. Around 220 marks you need out of 300, which is very difficult, because CUT is not each cup of tea and bed of roses, right? CUT is taking a lot of time, because questions are very difficult. Not you will find, because I will show you the questions, and from where the such questions has come, right? So they are asking from the deep middle book, right? You won't find it easily, because they are asking question in the form of chronology, right? So to solve or answers the chronological questions, you need to have very conceptual approach understandings, and you need to mug up few facts, and right, and this can't be built in just 1 or 2 months that you are thinking, right? That so-called preconceived notion that after having my graduations and within 1 or 2 months I would able to do it. No, you won't, because unlike your graduation exams patterns and exams questions, graduation exam questions, in CUT you won't find such questions, right? Questions are typical of typical nature of objective kinds. Some matching, I will show you what kind of questions they are matching. Objective questions, as well as chronological questions, lot of chronological questions, right? So these questions are coming from not just NCRT, but from a spectrum which which I know that, because I had prepared for UPSC for 2 years, right? 2 and more than 2 years. So there are few questions which also comes from UPSC background, that is UPSC syllabus and UPSC books. It's typically spectrums and other art and culture segment area, but you don't need to worry about, because I know how to cater those things and cater those questions, right? So I would talk about, I have 3 months, right? And so from September 1st to September, September 1st to November 30, right? We have 13 weeks, right? Around. I would able to finish the syllabus, right? So my target would be, so this is a duration. No, I'm talking about course overview, right? This is within course overview. I have durations of 3 months. Now I have target is that I have full syllabus completions with 4 round of revisions. When I say why I'm say 4 round of revision, because uh, each month I will have my revisions, right? Each month, even each weeks, right? You will find revisions classes and mock tests and no. So no, I have format of 5 day teaching. सो सैटरडे के लिए वीकली टेस्ट होगा आपका, एंड लास्ट में संडे भी क्लासेस होगी, तो वो डीप रिवीजन होगा. So no, I'm saying why 4 round divisions, because of this. I have my weekly test, and second in the Sunday you will find it is a revision classes, right? So test and revisions makes scatters you, right? For CUT exams, right? Now September 1st, this is a core foundation. कोर फाउंडेशन जो है ये सितंबर फेज 1 होगा हमारा. इसमें यू विल फाइंड आई हैव प्लान फॉर एंशिएंट एंड अर्ली मिडल हिस्ट्री, बिकॉज क्वेश्चन यहाँ से आते हैं अच्छे खासे, अनलाइक मॉडर्न हिस्ट्री क्वेश्चंस विच आल्सो डिफिकल्ट, बट एंशिएंट मिडल you know then you will solve it easily. And from here mostly questions are typical nature of some chronology question, right? You will find here. So in the first week, that is September 1 to 7, this is the first week, right? I will cover the stone age through Vedic periods. Within stone, I will have Paleolithic, Mesolithic, Neolithic. See, if you don't have paper like MA in archaeology, right? So you won't find much questions from Paleolithic, Mesolithic. But even if you have history or You will do history, MA in history, either in ancient, medieval, modern. You will find little bit questions from IVC, right? Indus Valley Civilization, and lot of basic questions, right? So I will do both three segments of your syllabus within first week itself, right? So within first week itself, I will do uh, these things because questions यहाँ से आते हैं. So and no, in the second week, right? In the formations and early empire. Let me see where I'm audible or not, because so in the second week I will have my state formation and early empire topics. Yes, I'm audible. So at 8 से 14 from 8 to 14 September I will talk about the महाजनपदास. यहाँ से क्वेश्चंस बहुत सारे आते हैं. महाजनपदास, you will find lot of questions from महाजनपदास, right? Like matching, they will ask question in the form of matching. I will show you later on this year question itself, right? उसके बाद फिर I will talk about early dynasties, which is in your syllabus, Haryang and Sisunag and Nanda, right? From, and this is the main topic, Buddhism and Jainism, for both UPSC as well as this area, this CUT exams, and then modern empire. So Buddhism, Jainism is favorite question, favorite area. Both each every year you will find 4 to 5 questions in UPSC, not in UPSC but in CUT and UPSC. You will find 1 to 2 questions, right? So in the second week I will talk about these topics: early state formation and early empire, right? Which is your part of syllabus. Then in the third week I will talk about post-modern and Gupta period, Indo-Greeks, Sakas, Kusana. Yeah, this is a very important area. This is also conceptual. This needs the conceptual clarity, right? Because Indo-Greeks, though it is not very easy, because questions are typically very great nature. They ask you questions from archaeology, especially in coins, right? Material remains. So this is typical area. So it is not easy. Now within this postmodern Gupta period, which will be my third week, I will talk about early South Indian states. They ask question you. They ask various questions from South Indian states. I will show you. Then Gupta Empire. So obvious, everyone's favorite, and then regional empowers. So this is a topic of third weeks, right? In the fourth week, I will talk about early medieval transitions, where you will see Palas, Sena, Rashtrakuta, Rajput, Cholas, and feudalism, right? And then I will take comprehensive test. So आपने देखा कि 4 weeks में, around एक month में, तो I will finish early medieval, and this you will find early India. I mean ancient India. I will finish ancient India of your syllabus, and early medieval India, right? तो ये सब है. Now we comes from October to modern history. अक्टूबर से हम करेंगे कवर medieval and modern history, right? medieval modern से क्वेश्चन आते हैं, अच्छे क्वेश्चन आते हैं. This is not easy area. यहाँ आपको you need a lot of remembrance, right? Because you will find lot of transition period, and this makes you confusion. This makes you to fall into confusion. So within in after in fifth weeks, that is from October 1 to 7, you will find the Delhi Sultanate. I will covering the Delhi Sultanate area, mostly Vijayanagar Empire. ये kingdom, ये तो बहुत आजकल तो nowadays you will find lot of questions from Vijayanagar kingdoms, given the fact that this is emerging area, right? Uh, so many questions are coming from here. Then you will find obvious Mamluk, Khilji dynasties, Tughlaqs, and southern kingdoms. So no, it is also important area. This southern kingdom is also important area, like Vijayanagar kingdom. So this I will cover in October. So this is a part of medieval India. Then in the 6 weeks I will cover religious movement and Mughal empire. So and within that you will find Sufi traditions से questions बहुत आते हैं. Around every year they ask you around 3 to 5 questions. 3 to 5 questions they ask you from Sufism itself. This year as well I will show you. Then Mughal administration, then economics. I will talk about this, right? In the 6 week, that is from October. Then I will in October, in the mid October, I will talk about the medieval, and after medieval, then we have early modern India. So we don't have such word called early model, but yeah, early modern. But yeah, I will talk about the colonial India, right? Which I say historiography, British expansion, economic transfer, and this is also typically difficult areas because there's a lot of scopes to ask questions, because and this requires your thorough understanding as well as understanding from several books like Spectrum, because they ask this year three questions from Spectrum itself. So fortunately enough, I was able to mark it correct because I have read Spectrum. So this is typical difficult areas you won't find, because you need a lot of conceptual understanding along with facts and remembrance. No, and then we have social reform movement, the important topics, and 1857 revolt and national awakening freedom struggle in the around the last week of October. And then finally comes November, and this is the final segment of my history plan, history batch, that is world history and final preparation, right? In the ninth week of November, you will find from 1 to 7 number, you will find complete world history, because world history से क्वेश्चन दो से पाँच आते हैं, दो से पाँच मिनिमम, पाँच मिनिमम, दो मैक्सिमम फाइव। इस बार तो दो ही क्वेश्चन थे जो आसान ही होते हैं। यू जस्ट नीड टू हैव, since you guys have studied the world history little bit, especially French revolutions, industrial revolutions from Ranjana ma'am and other teachers, so you will find the questions are easy, but they might trick you, the questions might trick you, right? Because sometimes they can also ask difficult questions from here, so you can't neglect this area, but just you need to study for 7 days, that's enough. No, I will have comprehensive revisions. This is very important. In history, you need to have revisions, bloody revisions. जब आप 3 months मेरे साथ आप लोग पढ़ेंगे, when you will study for 3 months with me, then you will be able to revise the is your entire syllabus in the last in the exam times. You don't need to worry about in exam time, because questions are going to tough, right? Each year questions are going to tough, because they are trying to estimate the student, assess the student for the top institutions, right? Hmm. So you won't, so questions are not very easy, because also this is a online exams, and you in online exams you need to tick the questions, right? You need to, but they give you pen paper, but you need to you need to have ability, right, to solve the questions. So I will conduct online test as well, and then topic wise review sessions, right? And you will find daily 30 MCQ practice. I will make ensure that you will have 30 MCQ each day, right? Because practice makes main perfect. So and this is best applied to the history area, right? Then I will give you short note comparison. This is very important during the exam times, right? And then timeline mastery. This is very important. Timeline mastery, without having the knowledge of chronology, you won't able to solve any questions, right? You need to have the knowledge of chronology, especially in every area, from the ancient, for the medieval, and for the modern India. You need to have the knowledge of chronology, right? जो chronology ये knowledge नहीं आने वाले ग्रेजुएशन एरिया से, because for this you need to have the clear cut strategies, right? Clear cut study plans, right? Because you need to have organized thoughts, right? Organized areas, because you will have just very few seconds to solve these 5 to 6 option based chronological questions. So you need to have thorough understanding. You don't need to have a very less remembrance, though you know this is who comes first and who comes later on, since you are undergrad student. But you, for this, they are asking questions of very specified in nature, so you need to have a lot of practice. So you don't think that I would able to solve just simple questions. I was also guessing this, but even though I have marked 2 3 questions wrong in chronological questions, so I would suggest you just have a prepare, have best preparation for this segment, which I will take care of this. So now in the 12th week, that is from 22 November to 27 November, I will conduct mock test series. So before this, I could have my 30 days MCQ plans, right? And MCQ practice and theme line mastery. You will find short notes compilation, everything you will find. Then this will prepare you around 50%. This will prepare you 50%. That is topic wise review session, daily MCQ. This is also good thing. Now in the mock test series, you will have you will get to know about how to balance ourselves, how to be cool uh, during the time of exam, right? when you will be cool, then you will able to solve the questions, right? I was not cool because I had given two exams, ancient history archaeology wale paper mein I was not cool enough, so I, I got very few marks in that paper. But when I appear for the typically history, that is uh, code paper 9, then I was able to secure the positions, because though I had experienced the first paper, that is archaeology wale paper, though uh, I didn't went for that, but since I want to take the JNU, so I choose paper 9. But for this, I have, till then I had the knowledge, experience of how to make myself calm and peace and composite in during the exam, and this was ensured with the help of my first test and first online exams, right? Conducted by Tata Consultancy Service, right? So because so this is very important area. You need to have full and mock test, right? So around 75 questions I will, as exams also asking for 75 questions. Now I will have my detailed analysis and weak area identification. There is something called SWOT analysis. SWOT जो यूपीएससी वाले स्टूडेंट हैं और जो आगे तैयारी करेंगे, उसको पता होना चाहिए SWOT एनालिसिस। SWOT एनालिसिस क्या होता है? SWOT एनालिसिस, सो इसमें आपको पता चलता है कि व्हाट इज योर वीक एरिया, what is your strong area, huh? What kinds of questions you left, and what you need to focus on, right? huh? What is your strong area, what is weak area, है ना? What should be strategies, right? So बहुत सारे इसका फुल फॉर्म भी होते हैं, राइट? सो आपको पता चलता है कि आज आप किस पे मेहनत करनी है, राइट? You get to know that which area you need to focus on and which area you need to practice, right? And what is your weak area, what is your strong area, right? So this is SWOT analysis. I will do. I will integrate this technology in my full length mock test, right? Uh, because since I am very fond of technology, I will use thorough use of technology. I will have my own apps. I will have my own websites apart from apps, and I will take care of a lot of things. I will integrate the technologies because I'm fond of technologies. I use chat gpts, I use Google notebook LM, right? This is very good thing, right? Google Gemini, which I got as part of a student, JNU student, right? Since it is free for college student, so I have a lot of technology I will use, to cater you guys, right? So after this, I will take the final preparation call, and this is a sprint. This is the sprint and marathon. Then I will do targeted revisions of challenging and topics. What is the main topics and what topics needs to be target on. So this would be last week of November. Then I will take the dot clearing session. That too would be marathon. I've seen those who will join me as a part of mentorship. This costs just 5,000 rupees, and you will have the opportunity to talk with me to ensure your well-being and emotional mental being, and you will also motivated from me, right? You will get to know my experience and how I'm living and having my good days in JNU, right? So that would be part of mentorship. So, and even that you will have each day dot clearance, right? So nevertheless, but you will still, if you are just a history student, right, you will have, you can always reach to me for your dot session, right? So then, and after that, for you, that you will have mock test 3 and 4 with immediate feedback. I will give you immediate feedback. This will be last week of number. But before that, I will already have full length mock test with 2 personalized feedback. Right, then you will have 3 to 4 immediate feedback. This should be last days of your examination, right? Last days of November, and it is very near to your exam of CUT exam, right? Then test and revision strategy. Since this is the very important area, this is the very important area. Test and revision strategy is very important. Without revisions and without having tests, you won't able to crack. Even you have a lot of knowledge, because this real exam requires you have composite and calm nature, right? And without having your presence of mind and composite yourself, you won't able to crack the questions, right? Because questions are typically of different natures. They will ask you questions from MCQs and matching, so this is not a very simple area. So so Saturday 50 to 100 MCQs on week topics. So I told you that on Saturday and Sunday I will have two days reserved for my important areas, that is for one for test and one for revisions. So in Saturday, I will talk about. I will take the 50 to 100 MCQs on week's topics. Whatever the topics I have, I taught you in that 6 days. And in the last days, I will talk. I will give you mocks MCQ, right? Then immediate analysis of performance in for performance, right? So where you lack and where you perform, I will tell you, right? Then discussion of PYQs is very important. Error log maintenance as well, because PYQ is very important, right? Though I will talk PYQ today itself. Then monthly evaluations I will do. I will take the mock test. I told you full syllabus. Then I will take within that mock test you will find 75 questions, which is matching CUT format. But because since I have given the CUT exam this year as well, so I have the CUT questions and strategies in my nerves, right? So and this is very important. Personalized improvement plan. You will, since I will integrate what I told you, SWOT analysis. I will integrate the SWOT analysis. This is very important. So you will get to know what is personalized improve. Personalized also because you will be able to connect with myself, right? For your motivations, for emotional and mental well-being, and for your daily motivation as well. Even if you are doing for UPSC, you will find me, right? So revision cycles. Now this is the very important. Revision cycle is very important. Sunday, I told you Sunday would be reserved for test and revision session, and also you will find mind mapping activities because you need to have this mind mapping for your history. Then two complete syllabus revisions and daily MCQ. I told you. You will find syllabus revision each day. So I will have my integrated segment approach to ensure continuous learning, timely correction, and builds exam temperament. This is very important. I told you temperament is very important. Exam time is different and study time is totally different. So I told you about mock test series plans. I told you about end of September I will have early medieval history focus area. In that you will have first mock test, then second mock test, then full mock test, and then full mock test two, three, blah blah four. You will find lot of mock tests, right? Since I am very fond of giving tests, right? So each mock test will be followed by what detailed performance analysis, helping student identify their weak and strong area. So, so this is a pie chart, right? You will find weekly structure. Monday to Friday, focus teaching on new syllabus, right? Topics I will have integrated exercise. This is help of technology, what we call, technology. This I will use thoroughly. Hmm. So Monday to Friday is for my uh, teaching plan, right? Then you see for Saturday and Sunday you will have mock test and revision as well. देन मंथ के एंड में आपको मिलेंगे फुल मॉक फुल लेंथ टेस्ट. आ रहा है, क्लियरिटी आ रहा है? फुल फुल लेंथ टेस्ट आ रहा है, जो कि मैं बार बार बोल के थक चुका हूँ. फुल लेंथ टेस्ट आपको मिलेगा. फिर उसका संडे यू इज रिजर्व फॉर व्हाट? योर शॉर्ट नोट्स, ओरल क्विजेस एंड डॉट क्लियरेंस. So in the second week I will have my state foundation and early so as I talk about Saturday Sunday plan, and the Saturday Sunday is also very new strategies and these. So I am audible thoroughly, right? I thought I was thinking that whether I'm audible not or not. So I'm audible. So in the Saturday Sunday, you will find the mock test and followed by the discussions and mind maps, short notes, oral quizzes and dot clearance, blah blah blah. Uh, so as I talk about already that how I will do medieval India. So because and since I talk about early and this is early India as well, right? Early state formation. This is the readings from where I will take on the questions, right? So this is already no. I'm talking about the main thing is that I will talking about uh, from where questions are coming. From where questions are coming. No, हमारे अब I will talk about this year PYQ questions. I will talking about this year PYQ questions. So this is my first candidate catcher, right? Application number you will find and this thing. So my test was scheduled on 28 March. So मार्च में एग्जाम हो जाते हैं, मार्च में एग्जाम हो जाते हैं. सो और आपका क्लास भी कंप्लीट हो जाएगा दिसंबर तक में, राइट. So first question was that which painter was conferred with the title of Nadir ul Asr by Jahangir. So this is not a easy questions. This is not a easy questions. This is the culture history segment from Mughaliya Sultanate, right? So so this needs, because there are four options, you need to have thorough understanding each options, because sometimes they might confuse you. I was able to make the answers correctly. I had chosen two, right. I had chosen options two, which was correct. So you won't find easily in NCRT. There are in some NCRT you will find in class 12. So from there the question comes, right. But sometimes they might ask you difficult questions, right. So this का source मैं बता दिया हूँ. ये it is not easy. This is the chronological based questions, and you need, because I left these questions. बिकॉज वाई, बिकॉज ऑफ चंदा चंद सतकर्णी. ये किसी को समझ नहीं आया, चंद सतकर्णी कब आएगा, कब पहले आया था गौतमपुर सतकर्णी से या बाद आया था. सो मेनी वन कंफ्यूज हियर. So and most of people have left these questions because this is not fine in normal routine book, even in NCRT. Though you will find Yagnasi Satkarni, Vasisht Putan, and Gautmiput, but what was Chand Satkarni? So this was typical difficult areas from ancient Indian history, that is South Indian हिस्ट्री से क्वेश्चन आया था, जो कि डिफिकल्ट था, क्रोनोलॉजिकल बेस्ड क्वेश्चन था, रूलर के नेम पे क्वेश्चन आया है. तो आई विल इंटीग्रेट सच क्वेश्चंस इन माय टेस्ट या मॉक टेस्ट. सो दिस सो आई लेफ्ट दिस क्वेश्चंस बिकॉज आप देख रहे हैं ऑप्शंस कैसे बनाए जा रहे हैं, ए बी सी डी, देन दे विल गिव यू ए, राइट, देन बी सी डी डी सी बी, कैसे इंटरचेंज कर दिया जाएगा. फिर बी से स्टार्ट किया है, फिर सी स्टार्ट किया है. सो दे विल मेक ऑप्शंस वेरी डिफिकल्ट, राइट. I had chosen option A, but this was correct incorrect, right? So I mark it wrong because मुझे लग रहा था मैं तीन तो जानता हूँ, चार नहीं जानता हूँ, चौथा बस I know about this thing, who comes first and later on, but though I was not able to make it correctly because of Chand Satkarni. No, this is questions of chronological questions. They ask you early Sanskrit inscriptions and trade, and such a deep, such a questions of nature, right? You need to have thorough understanding when it was गुरु दामन के टाइम में था, वो कब को उसका टाइमिंग पीरियड का है, क्या है, राइट. इंडो गुरु का टाइमिंग पीरियड कब है, नहीं है. यू नीड टू हैव रोमन एम्पायर कब खत्म हुआ, उसका ट्रेडिंग कब खत्म हुआ, वेयर व्हाट इज द टाइम पीरियड ऑफ सिल्क विवर्स, जहाँ से मंसूर इंस्क्रिप्शन से मालूम चलता है ना. व्हेन द वी हैव द सोर्सेस लाइक जेनाटेक्स विच टॉक्स अबाउट 18 मेजर पीपल्स और नेशनलिटीज. दिस यू नीड टू हैव थोरो अंडरस्टैंडिंग. ये पाँच छः डायनेस्टीज का, पाँच छः सालों का पीरियड को जोड़ करके एमसीक्यू बनाया गया, जो कि डिफिकल्ट है. एग्जाम में आपको 1 मिनट के अंदर क्रैक करना होता है. सो यू नीड टू हैव थोरो अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ दिस काइंड ऑफ क्वेश्चंस. दिस बिकॉज एग्जाम टाइम में बहुत प्रेशर्स होते हैं, एंड विद इन दैट प्रेशर्स यू हैव टू परफॉर्म, एंड आई एम हियर टू यू मेक यू परफॉर्म, राइट. सो वी आर लोकल. सो दिस इज फ्रॉम विजयनगर एम्पायर. आई टोल्ड यू विजयनगर एम्पायर बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट सेगमेंट ऑफ हिस्ट्री बनने जा रहा है. अब से सारे एग्जाम्स में क्वेश्चन पूछते जाते हैं, because this is the regional areas and we need to focus on, right. This is the emerging area, right. So emerging areas for the historians or for the examiners to ask questions. So they are asking terms based questions. I will have this thing. I have entire sets and compilations for my terminology, which I had prepared for UPSC. So I was able to make it correctly. Though this is also difficult questions, you won't find such kind of easy terms. Velalas, you will find Iyengar, but what were Kalatikas, you won't find easily. though I was able to make it correctly. Vijayanagar is very important. Yeah, you will find it is VVI. No, no words. No, since I have written this here, this is a VVI. So this is term based questions they will ask you, and I will make ensure that you will find a lot of questions in your test, mock test, terms based questions. Now again, this is the chronology questions, and this chronology also integrates the early medieval India. You will find संस्कृत का ये सती का inscriptions कब है, किस डेट को है, when was the date of emergence of भागवती, जब गुप्ता के टाइम में था या पहले आया था, when फायान was able to visit. अब इसमें लोग कंफ्यूज है, फायान पहले आया था बाद आया था, या सती का एविडेंस पहले मिला था, ये तो ये एबल मेनी वन एबल टू मेक इट करेक्टली. But what about to those who don't have even little bit knowledge, then they would not able to make it correctly, because they will have the confusion of this area, right? Evidence सती और वो को बोला यस हर्षा के टाइम में था, लेकिन what when फायान एबल to visit, when you will, whether this has earlier time or whether this has earlier time. So अगर आपको इधर में confused हुआ, then you won't able to make it correctly in exam. And then people of Eastern Roman Empire learned the art of growing silk from Chinese. This was the one. ये कब हुआ था? ये अर्ली मिडल में हुआ था, कब हुआ था ये? फायान के जाने के बाद हुआ था या विजिट करने से पहले हुआ था? This kind of things and confusion will make you not to solve such kinds of questions. So you need to have the knowledge and study of 3 more than 3 months, right? So when I say 3 months is very less, so this make it yourself correct. 3 months is also less. So you need to have such important concept for to solve such questions. So nevertheless, so this was bit difficult chronological based question. Now I will talk about here. This is this very difficult, very difficult areas. They will ask questions from the source base. They will ask questions you from the books. From where this books comes. ये Indian art किताब किसने लिखा? चार options. You know. If you don't know, you don't know. That is the simple. Fortunate enough, I knew that one answers. चार ऑप्शन में से एक बस एक पता था, फिर भी मुझे कंफ्यूजन हुआ था, फिर भी मेरा सबसे गलती हुआ है या सही हुआ, लेट मी नो, जैसे मेरा सही हुआ था शायद। देखो कितना डिफिकल्ट, इंडियन आर्ट किताब किसने लिखा, वेदर कृष्णदेव लिखा है, सी द ऑप्शंस दे आर मेकिंग, राइट? ए का 1, बी का 2, सी का 3, डी का 4, फिर दे मेक यू दैट यू विल फाइंड ए का 2, बी का ए का 2, बी का 1, सी का 4, डी का 1. सो दिस इज द डिफिकल्ट एरिया. ए का 1, बी का 2, सी का 4. So the kind of pairing they are making, so difficult areas. So this question needs to be left over. So उसका सोर्सेस क्या है मैं बताऊंगा. I have written very difficult to get into the exam hall correctly, since I read all the sources of NCERT. I got correctly in NCERT end page. हाँ, इस important क्या है कि ये जो NCERT का end page होता है, जिसको कि हम लोग 99% इग्नोर कर देते हैं, ये इसमें इग्नोर करने वाला बात नहीं है. दे विल आस्क यू बिकॉज एंड पेज में कोई एनसीईआरटी के लेट से थीम 1, 2, 3 बुक्स हैं जो 11, 12 के हैं, उसके एंड पेज में हिस्टोरियंस का नाम होता है, बुक्स लिखे होते हैं, बुक्स जो कहाँ से कौन सा बुक्स किसने लिखा वो एंड पेज में होता है. तो ये ओल्ड एंड न्यू एनसीईआरटी के मिलेंगे आपको. तो दिस वाज वेरी डिफिकल्ट एरिया. आई प्रिपेयर्ड सेपरेटली because I knew that from the PYQ that they ask question books who wrote such books. So Gupta temple architecture, who wrote this book? Gupta Hinduism, Buddhism, who wrote this? This is difficult. Yeah, you won't able to solve it correctly unless you have read from deep study. Now I'm talking about this. In ancient and early medieval India, a digest of Hindu law on inheritance was become extremely influential in Bengal. भाग. तो ये सब एरिया टर्मिनोलॉजी बेस्ड जो क्वेश्चंस हैं, टर्मिनोलॉजी बेस्ड जो क्वेश्चंस हैं, ये जो क्वेश्चंस आए हैं टर्म से आए हैं, और ये अर्ली मिडल इंडिया का आए हैं, जो कि सोशियो इकोनॉमिक हिस्ट्री से आए हैं. सो यू वर एबल टू सॉल्व दिस. So even in early Mandarin, you don't need to focus more on Rajput, and that is political. So you need to focus on early, social and economic history. That is important. उसमें भी टर्मिनोलॉजी बेस इंपॉर्टेंट, जो एनसीईआरटी से आया है, तो दो थोरो एनसीईआरटी जिसने किया होगा, सो दे वांट टू सॉल्व इट. No, this is a spectrum question. In which year Dutch established factory in example? Example. This won't find easy. This was very difficult. I left this because I had confusion 1605 and 6 and 16. I made it wrong. Answer was 1609. I made it. I was able to make it 1605. So this was wrong area. Though this I had a read spectrum, but in the exam time I was not able to remember because I had my confusion. So this question comes from directly spectrum. So I will make ensure that you read spectrums, and because I will take the help of spectrums, I will use spectrums for your modern history, right? I will also set questions from a spectrum, so you don't need to worry about. So this question comes from a spectrum area, right? So एनसीईआरटी से क्वेश्चंस नहीं है आसानी से, you won't find in NCERT, but there might be some statement which hints you towards you able to solve it. But yeah, this totally question, yes, this was very difficult. अकबर के जो उसके एक्सपेडिशन से इतने लंबे पैराग्राफ बेस्ड क्वेश्चंस, एंड वी नीड टू you need to have solve it within just 1 minute, because when you will take more than 1 minute you won't able to solve question second round, like, and make the questions correct which you left over. So this question requires a lot of time, but you just one but when you will have the answers in your tip, then you will able to fingertip, then you will able to solve these questions. For this you need to have a thorough understanding, right? So the question says Akbar succeeded to the throne of Delhi in 1554, and after his visit to the tomb of Muhyiddin Chishti at Ajmer, Bharmal of Amber, and Chandra Sen of Jodhpur accepted sovereignty of Akbar. ये पहले हुआ था या बाद हुआ था? फिर बोल रहा है कि इन 5070 अकबर मेड ह्यूज अपोजिशन एंड दिस थिंग. So four statements, such a big statements on the Mughal on the Akbar expeditions, right? So such difficult options A B B C C D D B D. So this option, so very difficult, thorough understanding, thorough analysis of Akbar campaign requires understanding. So questions coming from uh, old NCERT, since nobody study old NCERT, but this was the questions from old NCERT. I will show you कहाँ से questions आए हैं. No, again terminology based question, and I had the comparison of terminology based questions. मैंने एग्जाम से पहले वो पढ़ा था, तो I was able to make it correctly, right? Minting of coins as a prerogative of state power began in India with, ये भी तो conceptual understanding है. This question come from modern early students in India, or the formation of state, मगध महाजनपद से आए हैं, right? तो ये questions आए हैं, since the questions are not of political in nature but in socio-economic nature, so वहाँ से questions आए हैं. नो हु इज डिस्क्राइब, ये तो आसान था कि सिंस तहकीक हिंद, तो इट वाज वेरी इजी क्वेश्चन, बट इट वाज आल्सो सोर्स बेस्ड क्वेश्चन. बट आई गेस दिस नेक्स्ट टाइम दे माइट आस्क डिफिकल्ट क्वेश्चंस फ्रॉम दिस सोर्स. अंडर विच किंग सोन, देखिए पॉलिटिकल हिस्ट्री भी नहीं पूछा, ये पॉलिटिकल हिस्ट्री पूछ में कल्चर एंगल डाल दिया गया, तो राजपूत इज इंपॉर्टेंट. मेवाड़ की किस किंग के टाइम में हाईएस्ट पावर रिच हुआ था, हाँ. सो अंडर whom you will find मेवाड़ रिच हाईएस्ट पावर. सो राजपूत से इंपॉर्टेंट ऑब्वियस है, जो कि आसान नहीं है. क्वेश्चंस ये एग्जाम में डिफिकल्ट हो जाता है. सर सम माइट बी कंफ्यूज अमंग टू, राणा कुंभा था या सांगत था, ये दोनों में से तो कोई होगा, लेकिन एग्जाम में अगर ऐसा कंफ्यूजन हुआ तो यू वोंट एबल टू मेक इट करेक्ट, because when you make it correct then you will get 4, but when you will make it incorrect then you will get -1, and -1 it means you will lose more than -1 marks. I will tell you how. So this also applies to UPSC. So this is Rajput questions. Now again, chronology based. Sufism is very favorite. Sufism, सबका, I told you, Sufism is very favorite. They ask you question regarding arrange the question. So you will find Sufism everywhere, 2 3 questions, 6. So this question directly come from a source. I will tell you the source. This was totally from NCERT, but NCERT you won't find just single name. So, but in several chapters of NCERT there are two Sufi leaders, and within that you need to have knowledge of time frame, right? And then you will able to get the ideas who comes first and later on. So this is very important, difficult. I was not able to make it correctly within less amount of time, because Tataganj बक्स कब आया, लास्ट आया, पहले आया, मुक्ताबाई था या बाद में था, सुंदर मूर्ति अलग अलग टाइम पीरियड में डाल दिया, कबीर का टाइम पीरियड कब है, नो मुक्ताबाई नो, सुंदर मूर्ति आई नो, but the data guns cup is difficult, man. A D C B C A D B. So options are not so much easy. They might trick you. So No, Nalaya Dirip ये NCERT से क्वेश्चन आया था. I wrote base 33 from class 12 and theme, right? I wrote here. This is questions from theme two. Again, terminology based questions. Terminology based questions. सो अगर आप एनसीईआरटी वो भी पढ़े हैं, एनसीईआरटी बस पढ़े हैं और थोरली पढ़े तब यू विल एबल टू सॉल्व इट. अदरवाइज चार ऑप्शंस में इफ यू हैव एनी कंफ्यूजन यू विल नॉट एबल टू सॉल्व इट because you will always have fear of getting negative marking. So mind it. So this was not easy because terminology based you need to have lot of remembrance. नालायरा द्वीप प्रबंधन किसने बुक लिखा है, तो इफ यू डोंट नो यू डोंट नो एंड यू विल हैव कंफ्यूजन. नैनार लिखा है, अलवार लिखा है या बीरा सहवाल लिखा है, जैना लिखा है, देन यू गॉट, आप गए भाई. ये लिटरेचर क्वेश्चन आया. नो लिटरेचर इज दिस इज वेरी फेवरेट एरिया ऑफ एवरीवन. Literature is very favorite area of UPSC as well as this. So even if you join this and you will find it very easy for UPSC because literature मैं अच्छा स्कोर करूँगा because literature से हर साल क्वेश्चन अच्छे आते हैं. 5-10 questions you will every year you will find literatures. Now this is under whom Maratha state reach height uh, journeyed from Cuttack to Attock. So these questions is important. Why? Because this is important. Why? Because these days the questions are coming from Maratha as well. Because I will make sure you solve questions from Maratha correctly. I will make sure you solve questions correctly because Maratha apart from Vijayanagar is important here, right? ये क्वेश्चन डिफिकल्ट हो गया था भाई. दिस वॉन्ट फाइंड इजी इन सीआरटी. दिस वाज डिफिकल्ट पार्ट. दिस वाज डिफिकल्ट पार्ट. कटक सटक क्या लिखा है, कटक सटक तो डिफिकल्ट हो गया था. चार ऑप्शन आपके पास, बाजीराव फर्स्ट, बालाजी बाजीराव, बालाजी विश्वनाथ तेराबाई, तो डिफिकल्ट हो गया था. नो टर्म्स बेस्ड क्वेश्चंस. रैयत का टर्म्स क्या, पाही का टर्म्स. अगर आपको एक भी डाउट हुआ तो कहे आप, क्योंकि ऑप्शन जिस तरह क्रिएट किया गया ए बी बी सी ए डी, क्योंकि सब में ए है, तीन में ए है, बी में आपको लगा कि ए होगा क्योंकि ए बी में है, ए वाला ऑप्शन में ए बी है, थर्ड ऑप्शन में ए डी है भाई, फिर सेकंड ऑप्शन में बी भी तो हो सकता है, बी सी है तो बी डी भी हो सकता है. तो यू नीड टू हैव एटलीस्ट 3 नॉलेज. तब आप इलिमिनेट कर पाएंगे. चार पेयर्स में तीन का पेयर्स का आपके पास नॉलेज होना चाहिए तो चाहिए. ना दिस क्वेश्चन कम्स फ्रॉम एनसीईआरटी. किसी तंबाकू एडिक्शन का वो लत था, तो ये एनसीईआरटी क्वेश्चन आया, वो भी ओल्ड एनसीईआरटी से आया है जो कि हम लोग छोड़ देते हैं पढ़ना. तो आई विल मेक इंश्योर दैट यू मेक इट करेक्टली बिकॉज ये ओल्ड एनसीईआरटी से क्वेश्चन हैं. न्यू एनसीईआरटी में बहुत कम जगह मिलेंगे लेकिन मिल सकते हैं. लेकिन तो ओल्ड एनसीईआरटी इज आल्सो इम्पोर्टेंट, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट आई वुड से, बिकॉज आई रेड दैट, बिकॉज दो चार क्वेश्चन वहीं से आए थे, बस मुगल से वहीं आए थे. हाँ तो ये इम्पोर्टेंट होता है. अगेन क्रोनोलॉजी क्वेश्चंस. ये मॉडर्न इंडिया की टिपिकली क्रोनोलॉजी क्वेश्चन जो स्पेक्ट्रम में आपको हेल्प करेगा. जैसे मॉडर्न इंडिया को जोड़ दिया तो क्लासेस विल बी हेल्प यू. ये सब में क्लासेस आपको हेल्प करेंगे क्योंकि आपको कंसेप्चुअल अंडरस्टैंडिंग हुआ तो आपको बताएंगे अच्छा जो मुरली भैया और सर ने ये बताया था, ये पहले होगा, ये बाद में आया, तो देन क्लासेस विल हेल्प यू. यू वॉन्ट टेक टाइम लॉट टू सॉल्व इट करेक्टली. अदरवाइज रिपीटेड रिविजन्स यू टू अवॉइड सिली मिस्टेक्स. हाँ. In the following chronology question, ये questions chronological based classes will help you in solving such questions. Why? Because आपको classes में I will told you I will talk to you about the literature, widespread literature from every area or segment, right? No, this is NCRT questions segment. I prepare. Fortunate enough, I was able to prepare this NCRT last page summary timeline, right? And I was able to compile it, and I was able to revise it. So this question was coming from there. When SRO excavated Lothal, whether before RS Beast excavating Dhalavira or after that. So this is again core based questions, difficult one you won't able to find it easy to remember it, because you need to have lot of revisions. So I will make remember you names and stories associated with this. तो कैसे बीबी लाल बीके टावर कब आते हैं, किस टाइम में आते हैं, एंड व्हेन ही वाज एबल टू डू इट. बीपी बीबी लाल का बहुत कंट्रीब्यूशन कैसे रहा था, पर क्या कंट्रीब्यूशन हुआ ना, एमएस बस का रिबिस्ट का कैसे धोलावीरा खोज के. तो आपको स्टोरी और टाइमलाइन जब तक क्लैरिटी नहीं आएगा तब यू वॉन्ट एबल टू मेक इट करेक्टली इन एग्जाम हॉल. बिकॉज जिस तरह से ऑप्शन पेयरिंग बनाने जिस तरह, ये आसान नहीं है क्वेश्चन. इसलिए CUT is not a easy and bed of roses, right? So this is difficult area. You need to around, you need to get 200, more than 200 out of 300. So आपको 75 में से 60 क्वेश्चन, 50 क्वेश्चन मेक इट करेक्टली. इवन इफ यू सॉल्व 75 में आपको 70 अटेम्प्ट करना होगा. यू नो 70 अटेम्प्ट, तब 60 गलती सही होके, 50 सही होके 65 अगर अटेम्प्ट करते हैं, तो यू नीड टू करेक्टली मोर देन 50 क्वेश्चंस यू नीड टू हैव, राइट, करेक्ट. बिकॉज तब आपको जाकर एक्सक्लूडिंग नेगेटिव मार्किंग, अगर क्वेश्चन अटेम्प्ट करते हैं नेगेटिव जाता है फिर आपको, तो सो दिस इज नॉट इजी. सो आई वाज टेलिंग यू, I was telling you that this is not easy, because you need to have the 50 questions, more than 50 questions correct. Let's say 55 questions correctly, right? Then you will able to get the marks, enough marks to able to get into JNU other different good colleges in India, right? इसको आप 4 से मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे तो आपको आएगा 220, यानी 220 ये आपको बिना नेगेटिव होने. then for this you need to have make it 65 to 70 क्वेश्चंस ऐसे करना, टिक मारना पड़ेगा. एंड इसमें भी अगर नेगेटिव कम आया, 5-6 नेगेटिव आया, देन यू विल एबल टू. एंड 5-6 नेगेटिव का 75 में, it is not easy that you will just have 5-7 negative in out of 75 questions. So that was very difficult one. And I marked 25%. Uh, I marked 73 questions, and I will have my negative marking and this thing. So anyway, so this is not an easy task. So you need to have thorough understanding. So nothing you will find is easy, right? For this you need to work very hard. And when you will work hard, and when you will give your times, and when you will get my times, then you will be able to get the positions, let's say results, then you will land it into JNU, and able to get the good times, good days, and good place to study, hang out, make friends, make new friends, right? Make yourself, immerse yourself in discursive environment, make yourself intellectuals, right? This, and you will find also you will uh, make your financial health very affordable, right? Because they don't take any money from you apart from just eating 3,000 mostly. So you will save a lot of money here as well, if your financial condition is not good. And also you'll find best place to study here from the crowded Delhi North Campus area, right? Or Patel Nagar UPSC zone area. So this is the best place to study here because of the environment, academic environment, as well as the forest area, biodiversity. So that is the motivation you should have right now. So because I had the same motivations, right? Though I was not aware much about this mess areas and anything, right? House, room rent, and whatever. I had just thought that I had studied from the DU, and now I would like to study from JNU. That is the best place after DU, right? Best place to study for my masters when I studied from the DU in undergrad. So no, this is question from subsidiary alliance. This question directly comes from spectrum, as I have written there. Spectrum एनसीईआरटी एक दो लाइंस मिलेंगे, लेकिन स्पेक्ट्रम से कोर एरिया है. ये मॉडर्न इंडिया से डिफिकल्ट पोर्शन में आता है. ब्रिटिश एक्सपेंशन, I told you British expansion is very difficult areas, right? And you need to have a lot of knowledge about who comes later on, Mughal Empire, Mughal, ये जो आप क्या बोलते हैं, British governors and उसका policies क्या है. This is very difficult area. Even for UPSC, is very very difficult areas. जो British expansion है, उसका territories कौन से कब किसने उसका डॉक्ट्रिन ऑफ लैब, सब्सिडी अलायंस एंड रिंग एंड फेंस पॉलिसी, यू विल फाइंड a lot of things. So this is the typical area, and they ask you typical and British territorial expansion पूछा, जो कि स्पेक्ट्रम से और एनसीईआरटी से कंसेप्ट क्लैरिटी हो करके यू विल एबल टू सॉल्व इट, बिकॉज they are giving you four options and four statements, so this is not easy to solve it in just 1 minute. और आपको लगता है अरे मैं अभी सॉल्व नहीं कर, बाद में आऊंगा कर लूंगा, लेकिन जो बात कभी आता नहीं है, अभी नहीं सॉल्व कर पाए तो सेकंड राउंड में यू वोंट एबल टू मेक इट बैक। नो दिस इज डिफिकल्ट, प्लेसेस एंड मॉन्यूमेंट्स, हाँ ये बहुत डिफिकल्ट। ये मैंने फॉर्चुनेट इनफ आई वाज एबल टू स्टडी फ्रॉम द ओल्ड एनसीईआरटी एंड देन आई वाज एबल टू मेक इट इवन यू रॉन्ग, बिकॉज मुझे एक कंफ्यूजन हुआ था। आई नो अबाउट पंचमहल कहाँ है, आई वाज नोइंग अबाउट पंचमहल, लेकिन मैंने एनसीईआरटी में ओल्ड एनसीईआरटी में एक दो और पढ़े थे इसके बारे में। मुसलमान बुर्ज मैंने पढ़ा था या बादशाही मस्जिद पढ़ा था, लेकिन मुझे कंफ्यूजन हो गया यार अदर कश्मीर में है या आगरा में है, तो आई वाज नॉट एबल टू मेक इट करेक्टली। आई मार्क बट आई वाज नॉट एबल टू गेट द आंसर करेक्टली, क्योंकि उसमें लैक ऑफ रिवीजन इज देयर। ये लैक ऑफ रिवीजन ही था, क्योंकि मैंने रिवीजन पढ़ने के बावजूद भी अगर लैक ऑफ रिवीजन रहेगा तो पढ़ाई व्यर्थ है। सो यू नीड टू हैव, सो आई इंटीग्रेटेड द रिवीजन एरिया, राइट? सो I integrated the revision area. Each month, each day, each week you will have revisions, and each days and each week you will find revisions area. That's why I integrated, because even if you study, you need to have full revisions. All right. No, Patliputra. This is requires chronology and understanding, chronological standing. This is third, fourth, fifth. So our clients उसने दे दिया है. So who gave it easy है, लेकिन easy पूछा, लेकिन फिर भी confusion हुआ आपको, तो you got, अब गए टाटा बाय बाय हो जाएंगे। एनसीईआरटी क्वेश्चंस आए हैं ऑब्वियस। नो दी क्वेश्चंस आर, अब आते हैं 26 क्वेश्चन पे। And Nizam from the side of Heather, तो ये जो क्वेश्चन आए स्पेक्ट्रम से आए, ये जो क्वेश्चन आई वाज जस्ट चेकिंग वेदर आई एम ऑडिबल और नॉट, राइट? सो नो आई एम ऑडिबल सिंस आई वाज ऑलरेडी ऑडिबल। so this question, ये जो क्वेश्चन आए हैं आपके स्पेक्ट्रम से आए हैं, ये क्वेश्चन स्पेक्ट्रम से हैं। आई हैड रेड द फर्स्ट चैप्टर वेरी ब्यूटीफुली एंड आई वाज एबल टू मेक इट करेक्ट। सो दिस इज पार्ट ऑफ स्पेक्ट्रम। स्पेक्ट्रम का जो पहला चैप्टर ये डिफिकल्ट है, वो 70-80 पेजेस में है, जो कि डिफिकल्ट एरिया है। आई विल मेक श्योर यू स्टडी दैट थिंग वेरी नाइसली विद द हेल्प ऑफ मी। सो दिस इज, मैंने मारा था बैटल ऑफ पोर्टो नोवो, दिस जहाँ हैदर अली ने डिफीट कर दिया था। But no, Hyder suffered battles, not defeated. But yeah, in the first battle, हैदर अली डिफीट किया था इंग्लिश को, लेकिन बाद में उसने डिफीट का सामना करना पड़ा। ये जो है बुक, ये जो है लिटरेचर से क्वेश्चन आए, मेडिवल हिस्ट्री के लिटरेचर क्वेश्चन जो है, ये सब क्वेश्चन आसान है, लेकिन एग्जाम टाइम में कभी आसान क्वेश्चन भी डिफिकल्ट पड़ जाता है, राइट? इसमें तीन ऑप्शन आसान, तीन तीन आसान है ये, लेकिन गुनैत ए मुकनिया ये कहाँ से आए हैं? इवन आई वाज सरप्राइजिंग, ये क्वेश्चन दे तो खैर पता होता, तीन ऑप्शन चार में से पता, तभी आप मैच द फ्लोइंग को सॉल्व कर पाएंगे। लेकिन ये ऑप्शन, ये जो ये डिफिकल्ट दे दिया, लेकिन आने वाले टाइम में क्या पता दो दो ऑप्शन डिफिकल्ट कर दे। इवन आई वाज नॉट एबल टू फाइंड द सोर्स, क्वेश्चन पूछा कहाँ से, पता नहीं कोई और बुक से पूछा होगा। तो क्वेश्चंस आसान नहीं हो जा रहे, डिफिकल्ट बन जा रहे हैं। देखो ये क्वेश्चन जो पूछा है अर्ली मिडल पूछा है कि उत्तर पद दक्षिण पद कब है, नहीं है, ये बहुत डिफिकल्ट एरिया है। ये इकोनॉमिक हिस्ट्री से पूछा है। इट रिक्वायर्स थॉरो नॉलेज ऑफ द टेक्स्ट बुक विद क्रोनोलॉजिकल अंडरस्टैंडिंग। ये हु विच किंग इज मेंशन इन, ये पता ही नहीं था मुझे। वरीकोड इंस्क्रिप्शन स्वेट वैली में शायद मैंने भाई सुना था, नहीं सुना था याद, सुना ही था लेकिन याद नहीं आ रहा था, so I was not able to make it correct. I mean, I didn't mark, so it was very difficult during the exam time, because since it is one line, you won't find easy in the NCERT. I think I marked Vijay Jaipal Dev. I'm not serious. I marked Jaipal Dev. I think I heard the such name Jaipal, and because ये बहुत बड़ा famous था ruler कहीं न कहीं उस time का. I just read the name Jaipal Dev, so मुझे लगा कि यही आंसर होगा. तो fortunate enough मेरा past knowledge काम आया. ये जयपाल देव ही बरीकोट इंस्क्रिप्शन जो है स्वैत वैली में, उसका बारे में मेंशन किया गया वहाँ पे. फिर अगेन ये सूफीजम बेस्ड क्वेश्चन जो एनसीईआरटी से आए हैं, थीम बेस, आई टोल्ड यू 5 क्वेश्चन आते हैं, 3 से 4 क्वेश्चन आते हैं सूफीजम पे. दूसरा क्वेश्चन ये है, इसका पेज नंबर 43 से है, ये एनसीईआरटी क्वेश्चन है, मैंने सोर्स देखा तो वहीं से. मैं इंश्योर करूँ एनसीईआरटी आपके सिलेबस में कवर करूँ मैं. ये क्वेश्चंस देखो, ये पूरा थोरोली एनसीईआरटी से है. विजयनगर एम्पायर देखा आप, ये लगा तीसरा क्वेश्चन है विजयनगर एम्पायर से, देख रहे हैं. दिस इज द इमर्जिंग एरिया, एज आई वर टॉकिंग टू यू. इमर्जिंग एरिया हो गया विजयनगर एम्पायर, और मराठा एज वेल. मराठा दो क्वेश्चन देखने को मिले हैं. ये मॉडर्न इंडिया से है. आई टोल्ड यू ब्रिटिश एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन इज नॉट इजी, इट इज नॉट अ बेड ऑफ रोजेस, as Marx says, as Marxist says that the revolution is not a bed of roses. So I would say this this cracking suit is not a bed of roses, because ये स्पेक्ट्रम से भी आए हैं और एनसीईआरटी से भी आए हैं, लेकिन इस तरह के जितने सारे कमीशंस का अराउंड 15 से 20 कमीशन आपको याद रखने पड़ेंगे, ब्रिटिशर्स ने लाया था, है ना. जैसे स्ट्रैची कमीशन, हंटर कमीशन, राइट. यू विल फाइंड लॉट ऑफ कमीशन. फेमिन पे 5-6 कमीशन बैठाएंगे. उसका पर्पस क्या था, है. और कब लाए गए थे, किसके द्वारा लाए गए, ये यू नीड टू हैव नॉलेज ऑफ दिस थिंग. फॉर दिस यूनिट ये आपको 1 महीने के अंदर आप प्रिपेयर कर ही नहीं पाएंगे. सो यू नीड टू हैव 3 months, राइट. देन यू विल हैव ये किताब डिफिकल्ट, भाई कहाँ से क्वेश्चन पूछते हैं. धाकर इतिहास, हिंदू कॉलेज, ये बस लोगों को पता होगा, वही जिसने पढ़ा है एनसीईआरटी, बाकी ये सब पता ही नहीं. इमेजिंग इंडिया सो डिफिकल्ट है. आई वाज नॉट एबल टू मेक, आई वाज जस्ट नोइंग दैट ये तो यहाँ से कहता आरसी मजुमदार ने कहता ये लिखा है, लेकिन इसका आंसर मैंने सही मार दिया था क्योंकि एक मुझे पता था. तो और थोड़ा मुझे लग रहा था इसका ऐसे बनाया गया, एक का दो, बी का वन. इसमें मुझे ऑप्शंस हेल्प किया कि बस एक ही ऑप्शन में एक का दो का दिया, बाकी में नहीं दिया, तो आई वाज एबल टू. अब बी में खासकर बी का वन जो है ना, एक ही ऑप्शन दिया हुआ है बी का, हाँ वन, इसलिए मैंने सही मार पाया विद द हेल्प ऑफ ऑप्शन. अदरवाइज आई वाज नॉट एबल टू मेक इट करेक्टली, बिकॉज नॉलेज था ही नहीं मुझे इतना चार डिफिकल्ट क्वेश्चन. फिर ये भी एंशिएंट, ये मॉडर्न इंडिया क्वेश्चन है. देख रहे किस तरह से अलग अलग पीरियड के अलग अलग टाइम गांधी घुसा दे रहे हैं, कभी प्री मॉडर्न इंडिया घुसा दे रहे हैं. difficult one, man, difficult one, you need to have knowledge. ये देखो ये किताब आई, लिटरेचर से क्वेश्चन, 5वां क्वेश्चन है. लिटरेचर इज अ फेवरेट एरिया, लिटरेचर इज अ फेवरेट एरिया. ये फिर एंशियंट से क्वेश्चन पूछा है यूनिवर्सिटी पे, एंशियंट सिस्टम ऑफ लर्निंग. ये देखो आप, बहुत से ये वर्ल्ड हिस्ट्री क्वेश्चन पूछा गया. 2-4 पीरियड का, फ्रेंच रिवॉल्यूशन, सोवियत रिवॉल्यूशन को घुसा दिया है, हाँ. 3-4 फिर तुम्हारा राइट जो सिस्टम है, हिटलर का टाइम पीरियड. मतलब वर्ल्ड हिस्ट्री भी आसान नहीं है, क्योंकि 4-5 क्वेश्चन पीरियड्स को मिला करके सारे को एक में मर्ज कर दिए जा रहे हैं, सो दैट कैंडिडेट्स को सुपरफिशियल नॉलेज ना हो, बल्कि सारे पीरियड का नॉलेज हो और वो एबल टू इंटीग्रेट कर सके. दैट इज व्हाट वी कॉल्ड इंटरडिसिप्लिनरी नॉलेज, राइट. आपको एक टॉपिक दूसरे टॉपिक में नॉलेज हुई है. देखो ये टर्म बेस्ड क्वेश्चन है. जरी, चाचर, दाग, हुंडी, ये सारे टर्म्स बेस्ड क्वेश्चन है. आई हैव माय comparisons, I was able to make it correct. Even I had read in during time, you can see time test series and very various platform. ये देखो प्लास्टिक का, apart from terms matching based questions, right, and technology based questions, you will find different category questions which is statement based questions. And this was not easy. I was not knowing from where who said this statement, and this in the context of battle of Plassey, who said that there never was a battle in which consequences were so vast, so immediate, and so permanent. I was not knowing who, because even I know I was aware of Peel or Roberts, ये पता है. ये वो हिस्टोरियंस हैं, कॉलोनियल हिस्टोरियंस, राइट. ओरिएंटलिस्ट के बारे में जो खराब बात कर रहे थे, राइट. जी मेल्सन, मैंने अल्फ्रेड लायल मैंने सुना था। ये दो आर्गुमेंट्स हैं, पी रॉबर्ट्स, अल्फ्रेड लायल, जो कि एस्पेक्ट उसमें पढ़ते हैं, सेक्टर मधुबादिया में पढ़ते हैं, राइट। किसने कहा कि डार्क एज था, ओरिएंटल ओरिएंटल पीरियड, राइट, एंशिएंट इंडिया डार्क, तो ये सब उसी के स्टेटमेंट में है। मुझे बस दो नेम पता, लेकिन दो नेम इसने किसने कहा था ये डिफिकल्ट था। तो ऑब्वियस दिस इज डिफिकल्ट एरिया, बट आई विल मेक इंश्योर in my classes such kind of questions would be catered, such kind of questions would be talked about, so that you will be able to solve it correctly when questions will, such kinds of questions will arrive in an exam. Now, the other sides of challenge, ये जो किताब है, जिस किताब का मैंने हाल फिलहाल में बात भी किया था, मूवी स्क्रीनिंग जब हो रहा था पार्टीशन पे, तो मैंने बात किया था इसके बारे में। ये किताब जो है एनसीईआरटी के सबसे लास्ट पेज जो है उसकी वहाँ पे लिखे हुए हैं बुक्स और उसके ऑथर्स कौन है, तो ये आपको इंश्योर करना पड़ेगा कि एनसीईआरटी के लास्ट पेज भी मैं पढूं। देखो ये फिर इकोनॉमिक कल्चर हिस्ट्री से पूछा गया मुगल पे, मुगल बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट ऑब्वियस, इसलिए मैं मुगल को पे अच्छा टाइम दूंगा, और विजयनगर वगैरह चैप्टर्स पे भी। तो मुगल के कल्चर पर एस्पेक्ट्स में पूछा गया है, मॉन्यूमेंट्स कौन किसने कब बनाया, पहले सिकंदरा बनाया गया है बुलंद, तो ये डिफिकल्ट था, इसको मैंने बहुत टाइम लिया था, मैंने पढ़ा, लेकिन फिर शायद मैंने रॉन्ग आंसर मारा था शायद। फिर बुद्धिज्म पे आई टोल्ड यू क्वेश्चंस बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, ये क्वेश्चंस अच्छे थे, मुझे मैंने पढ़ा था, इसका फिलोसफी भी पता मुझे, दैट इज थ्योरी ऑफ डिपेंडेंट ओरिजिनेशन, पतिचा समुद्र पदा जो है हम लोग बोलते हैं, ये डिपेंडेंट लॉ ऑफ डिपेंडेंट ओरिजिनेशन के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं। तो ये बात है। सॉरी, राइट, सो द ड्यूरिंग द मुगल पीरियड द पेशकश, ये क्वेश्चन, ये इंपॉर्टेंट बात, मुगल इतना पूछा ना, पेशकश वगैरह में पूछा गया है, तो ये सब क्वेश्चन टिपिकल डिफिकल्ट है, लेकिन पूरा एंटायर बुक के बीच से आते हैं, एनसीईआरटी से लेके बुक के बीच से आए हैं। तो आई वॉज एबल टू मेक, आई मैंने मारा था हनी, लेकिन और एलिफेंट्स भी होते, तो शायद उसने सही मान लिया था एनसीईआरटी के। तो एनसीईआरटी से आया है क्वेश्चन, मुगल जो चैप्टर जो है ना उससे आया, जो थीम टू में आया, थीम टू में। देखो किस तरह से फॉरेन ट्रेवलर्स पे क्वेश्चन आते हैं, ये तो यून बतूता है, पोस्टल सिस्टम में बात किया था, तो ऐसे क्वेश्चन भी एनसीईआरटी से हैं। अब यार एनसीईआरटी होता है ना, एनसीईआरटी थीम